Hello and a warm welcome to our viewers who are joining us for the men's reserve game today between South Australian Dragons and the Australian Defence Force. We're looking forward to a spectacular performance from both teams. We are here live at the AMMNA Championships from Nissan Arena in beautiful Brisbane. In commentary, I am Tamara Weatherburn, and joining me from the ACT Griffins is Renee Pickering. Welcome, Renee.
Hi, Tam.
So nice to be here for day 5 of the championships, and we'll be heading into finals shortly. Renee, is there anyone that's impressed you around the courts this week?
Oh, absolutely. I think the calibre of netball here in Brisbane is exceptional, Tam. In this team here, I'm really looking forward to seeing the South Australian unit. I think particularly Steve McInnes is one to keep an eye on.
Wonderful. All right, and we are moments away from starting, and we'll go to a break.
So when I was growing up, obviously loved footy. All my brothers played footy. I've got 5 brothers. They all played sport growing up, and we had a little club called Kelmsford Junior Football Club. Played down there all through my juniors. I got my sense of belonging, I guess, and made my friendships. I just love those memories of playing there. Got me where I am today, so it's it's good to look back on that. Yeah, obviously the Fair Play vouchers is a great initiative. It allows any kids to play sport, gives the opportunity for them to go down to their local club, get that sense of belonging. Obviously there's a lot of kids in different circumstances out there in the community, so this gives the opportunity for any kid to go out and play, which is fantastic.
Welcome back, and thank you for joining us through the Queensland Suns Facebook page. A friendly reminder that our live stream is 100% free. Please be aware of any scam pages that are out there. Now, before we get onto our team lists, we would like to start by acknowledging the 150th game from the SA President, Steve McInnes. He's going to be starting in wing defence today. We're very excited for him. So, running through our lineups today. For the ADF, we have James Murphy in goal shooter. His partner in crime, Nick Miller, in goal attack. We have Bradley Smith in wing attack. Through the middle, Chris Laurie. In wing defence, we have Geordie Clark. Goal defence is Brian Reid. In goalkeeper, Josh Drennan. Our subs today, Michael Catley, Kieran Devitt, Regan Parks, Jack Rockford, Joshua Weeding, and our wonderful coach for the ADF is none other than Kim Keeley. I think she is assisted by Sarah today. Renee, can you run us through the SA reserves team, please?
Absolutely. So starting in goal shooter there today, you'll see Luke Humphreys. In goal attack, Aaron Edme. In wing attack, Matt Majoris. In centre, Tyson Jerry. In wing defence, Steve McInnes. In goal defence, Alex Bevan. And in goalkeeper today, we have Daniel Moore, with interchanges of Brock Stokes, Joshua Searle, Alan Heritage, Kyle Glasbrook, and none other than Mr. Cameron Bennett.
Now, we unfortunately don't have the coaching lineup with us for SA, but we do have the umpires. Who's on the game in Team White today?
Absolutely. So our umpires today are Andrea Kerr, Jackie Osborne, and Michaela Harrison.
Wonderful. Now we are about a minute underway, and already both teams have a goal on the board. Now, as we were saying, Steve, 150 games. How impressive is that for our viewers, Renee?
That is exceptional. I cannot fathom the injuries and the pain that man has sustained over his career. So a really impressive feat and something we congratulate him for.
Beautiful little fadeaway shot there from Humphreys in goal shooter, and ADF now have the ball. Passing back to Geordie Clark. Little hop, step and a jump there from Reedy in goal defence. Taking a little while to get down there to circle edge. We go back again. And there is a held ball, I believe, and it is now with South Australia. Now, this men's reserve division is a pool of 8 teams, which means they are doing 2 games a day, Renee. Now, I know you've experienced this yourself as a player. How hard is it to double up every day for a tournament like this?
It's a difficult thing to put into words, Tamara. I think recovery becomes exceptionally important. Lots of ice bathing, a lot of time in the pool, and a lot of time lying down with legs raised to get rid of some of that inflammation. So it is definitely hard work.
Absolutely. Hard work, and we can see the players out on court working just as hard as it goes down the South Australia end on the right of your screen. SA being the red team with the beautiful flame design on their uniform, and the Australian Defence Force in the blue and red outfit. A long ball in. Will it pay off? Not this time. Luckily, they do get the throw in down there. Now, on the top of the ladder at the moment, we have the Victorian Reserve men team, followed closely by Queensland. Have you had a chance to see either of those teams play this week?
Yeah, absolutely. So I spent a little bit of time watching the Vic men's reserves team. They've historically been an incredibly successful team, so very unsurprising to see them on the top of the table.
And spending a little bit of time in the Victorian program yourself, Renee, what makes Victoria such a successful program?
Yeah, absolutely. I was lucky enough to spend the 2 COVID years training with Victoria, so never wore the dress or took the court. But I've heard rumours around camp that they've tripled down on their court sessions, so 3 times a week plus gym since I was down there. So again, very unsurprising to see a lot of that translating into exceptional on-court performance. I was lucky enough to watch the men's opens team last night, and their defensive unit is exceptional.
Yes.
So if people haven't had a moment, definitely get some eyes on Victoria.
Absolutely. Very impressive, with a number of the Vic Open men's being in the Kelpies as well. Now, for our Australian Defence Force, they do have a bit of a unique challenge compared to some of the other states. They typically come together the week before championships to have some training camps, get together, and really just get out on court for the first time right before hitting the championships. Now, most other teams actually spend about 6 months or so prepping. So how do you think that impacts how ADF can come together over the week?
Absolutely. I think what we observed in the previous game time was just, I guess, a little bit of fatigue creeping in. And as that does is where some of those structures tend to break down. So I think the value of these teams that spend 6 months training is that they've got various defensive and attacking structures that they can draw to when something's not working. But the value of the ADF, they are exceptional athletes. They are very, very fit. And I think that's where we see them excel in this environment. So really good, despite a lack of training over the prep period, to see them competing at this level.
You're not wrong. A very fit group out there, and certainly some of the previous score margins they've had hasn't deterred them away from taking on SA here today. Both teams wanting a win. ADF currently sitting on the bottom of the ladder in 8th position with no wins, so they are hunting for their first. SA sitting on 6th position with Singapore separating them both. So Singapore here as an international invitational team. Just how exciting is it to have invitational teams join us over the years?
It's fabulous for the growth of men's netball, Tam. I think we'd love to see more countries coming into our competition and getting some exposure. We all certainly would love to see men's netball hit the international stage at the Olympics in 2032. So these are those small steps that AMMNA are making towards that. So fabulous to see the very athletic style of Singapore this year.
Absolutely, and wouldn't we love to see men's netball on the big stage at the Olympics, and joining that, hopefully, the women too. Scores are now 2-7 SA's way, with ball in hand of none other than Steve McInnes. Sending a ball down court as Geordie Clark gives a hug to the South Australian goal attack. Now, what is the start of this game looking like for you, Renee?
Look, a little bit frantic at the moment, Tam. What I think we'll see is that SA will start to settle into this now. I think adapting to the very body-on-body style of defence that we always see from the ADF can be something that most teams take 5 to 10 minutes to adjust to. But I think we'll see them settle in now, so a good challenge for the ADF to respond.
Now, I caught Ed Mead last night, who is, and a beautiful roll there from the South Australian centre. There's certainly been a bit of gymnastic and aerobatic displays across this division. But Ed Mead last night showed some impressive displays of speed out there. Caught him in goal shooter, cutting the baseline beautifully. So I think this combination with a bit of height behind him, I'm excited to see what they put out there in that shooting circle combination.
And a big cheer from the SA bench as they slot that goal.
Scores a 2-9 with ADF working nicely onto circle edge. I can see some interchanges happening now. SA with ball in hand, transitioning quickly down court. Looking to open up that goal circle yet again. Long feed over the top. And beautiful shooter-to-shooter connection there as they slot one more in. Yep, you go.
I think I was about to comment on the interchange that was coming onto court tomorrow. Any comments on the new centre for the ADF?
Yeah, look, he's a classy player out there. Kieran Devitt into centre for the ADF. Typically a defensive player, has more recently transitioned into the mid-court. And SA slot one more shot in.
For those of you listening along at home, Kieran Devitt, the partner of our very own Tamara Weatherburn.
Thanks, Renee. I'm glad we got that one out of the way. I promise I am not biased towards the ADF. I am here for netball this week. And
that was a lovely backspace feed and a beautiful hold.
ADF have certainly utilised their combinations quite well this week, looking to rotate and run fresh legs regularly. Do you think that's helping them out there?
Absolutely, and look, with the tough loss of one of their key mid-quarters in day one, I think their rotations are really important to get through this tournament.
And as we said, with 2 games a day, sometimes those rotations can be absolutely crucial to the success of a team's tournament. SA going long again. Just a little off there on that shot, and ADF will take the throw in. Opts to go long to Devitt. Cross-court ball, he'll hear about that later. Little give and go there from Smith. Looks to go long. Obstruction call from McInnes. Goes long anyway. And they slot one in. SA with the next centre pass. Opting to go cross-court. Doesn't like the first option, goes for the second. Beautiful ball in. And another one down for SA. Scores are 4-13. Now, Renee, what would you like to see from the ADF to try and bring this margin back a little bit here?
Yeah, absolutely. Probably a little bit more defensive pressure through transition at the moment. I think something that we're seeing from this SA unit is a really fast, clean transition down court. So just a little bit of contest pressure might help to slow things down.
Absolutely. We have a change here with Geordie Clark into goalkeeper. Now, a little bit of a shorter defensive player, but his ability to read the play is fantastic. What are you looking for Geordie to have an immediate impact on the game as he comes on?
I would love to see Geordie having a go at some of those circle edge balls, particularly as it's moving in toward the pocket, and I think we'll definitely see him have a crack at those.
Ed Mead with ball in hand. Cross court. Finds Ed Mead again. And that shooter-to-shooter connection for SA is one that ADF really need to look at shutting down. What's making that so effective for you, Renee?
I think the positioning of their shooter Humphreys is really quite impressive. He's dictating early. He's making sure that he's in the right spot at the right time and making the life of Ed Mead very, very easy. But obviously also complemented heavily by the work going on outside the circle.
ADF centre. Smith with the ball, back to Reedy. I think what I'd like to see from the ADF is maybe getting their shooters into the circle a little bit earlier, letting the mid-court do the work out in front to bring it down to the circle edge, and then utilise that swing ball to try and open up that beautiful hole that they can get in the circle. Another one in for ADF. Oh, and just a misfired pass with Reedy picking up the crumbs. Contact call here. Now, it's hard for our Team White umpires too, often backing up for multiple games throughout a day. How have you found the umpiring this week, Renee?
I think it's been exceptional. The UCAP have made some really fabulous changes to their selection process over the last couple of years, and I think what we're seeing, the quality of umpiring is just improving every single year. So something for AMMNA to be very, very proud of. And I'm personally very excited to see the finals allocations this year.
Very proud of indeed. And for those that don't know, the UCAP is the umpires advisory panel that is part of the AMMNA committee. Now, whilst umpires do nominate from states, they create part of a pool for the competition, and they have fitness requirements that they now have, and it's certainly seen results with the standard of umpiring improving over the number of years that ACT have been here. High ball in, tipped off by Reedy. Love to see him two-hand grab those in and make it an intercept for the ADF. Beautiful screen there. Take and turn. And he makes no mistake there. 5-16 are the scores. 1 minute before we go into the quarter break. ADF just taking their time, working the clock into a turnover ball. I think that was a step there. McInnes with the ball, another cross court. They do love looking long. It works very effectively for them. 30 seconds on the clock. Swing ball. Now, I think SA are incredibly effective when they utilise the movement in the circle, get those screens in there. They're a little bit stationary just there for me, so I'd like to see them back on the move or utilising those really strong holds in Humphreys. Throw in with 4 on the clock. ADF will need to look long. They do, and intercepted on the break. Now, scores are 5-16 SA's way. What are your thoughts on this first quarter, Renee?
Yeah, I think we've definitely seen SA put on a little bit of a show here, Tam. It'll be great to see what they can produce over the next 45 minutes, but conversely, seeing what ADF does to respond.
And we'll be back shortly after an ad.
this. Let me show you how to get it like me, get it like me. Cause the best is what I really might be. Let me show you how to get it. You wanna be like this. You wanna be like this.
Welcome back to Nissan Arena for the Australian Men's and Mixed Netball Championships. We are here for Steve McInnes's 150th game. I'm going to keep plugging it all game because that is just so impressive. We have the SA getting us started. They are currently up 16-5 for those just joining us. SA are in the red, ADF in the blue. Now, SA have the momentum at this present moment. Renee, what do we need to see from the ADF to shift that in their favour?
Yeah, I'd love to see tomorrow just a little bit of an increase in the man-on-man defensive pressure as the ball is transitioning. I think SA is doing a really good job of using their prelims and finding some free space quite easily. So a little bit tighter, and I think we'll see that transition start to slow down.
Yeah, a classy first quarter from SA. Has anyone stood out for you from either team yet?
Absolutely. I really enjoyed the work of Jerry sitting in that centre position for South Australia. A true workhorse in the mid-court. He's swinging ball with confidence. He's running really nice lines and finding space. So a very impressive athlete. He's no doubt done some minutes this week. So it'll be really interesting to see if he can sustain that intensity for 4 quarters.
Yeah, consistent first quarter from him and a beautiful shooting combination here as the ball heads back down their way. Swinging it out to find a better position. Turns, looks to the post. Short on the defence there from goal defence as they slot another goal through. Ball in the hand of Devitt. Just working it down onto circle edge. Looks like that came off a foot there. And it is back in the hands of SA. Now, there is one player missing from the SA men's reserve lineup at the moment in Cam Bennett. Now, Cam used to be a fellow ACT Griffin, moving to South Australia last year, getting married, and joining the SA Dragons. Now, Renee, why is he not at the courts today?
Yeah, unfortunately tomorrow we had a little bit of a support crew over watching him in game 1. Sustained a fracture to his foot about 5 minutes into that game. So a devastating loss for the SA team. And we do wish Cam all the best in his recovery.
Yeah, very impressive mid-court. Versatile player, and as Renee said, wishing you all the best, sending you good thoughts if you are listening in today, Cam. Ball back down the SA attack end. Jerry swings the ball, and another tumble. Oh, some more acrobatics out there in the men's reserve division. Brian Reid enjoying the camera and bringing the flair.
It's definitely a part of his brand tomorrow for those who have watched Reedy over consecutive games.
And
he's always entertaining.
It works for them because the ball is back in their hand. Drennan in keeper. Transitioning the ball down court, finding circle edge, and a great baseline drive there. Just setting that penalty. And they slot another one in. A little slow on transition there, but lucky a obstruction call is made. Opts to go back, sending it long. Tries to find Dusty in goal attack. Draws the contact. And a nice long shot there as Murphy slots that one through. SA looking to make their score 20 here. Back in the hands of Jerry. Beautiful feed in. Oh, and doesn't pay off, but the ADF try the chairlift. We've seen this a little bit in the Suncorp Super Netball, where a defensive unit will work together, one lifting the other up to try and get a little bit more height there on that jump. Oh, and very impressive. Reedy keeps it in, tumbles, slips, gets up, back on court to get back into defense. We asked for an enjoyable game here today, guys, and we are getting it. And he's back down again. We might need to start taking a tally. I think that's 3.
It's at least 3, and someone might need to get that mop ready.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And oh, we get to touch the game ball over here on the commentary desk. Back in McInnes's hand. A few friendly chats going on out there. It's really nice to see the camaraderie at men's and mixed netball, Renee. Didn't like that call, but straight back on with it.
There's some of that speed that we were expecting from Clark. Starting to come alive in that goalkeeper position.
Looks to swing. And the screen. That is working beautifully for them. Now, Renee, just talk us through what a screen does for the shooters.
Yeah, absolutely. So the screen just basically takes a defender out of the game. It means you can run past your fellow shooter, using them to block your defender and just opening up space. Something that SA is using quite a bit here today, very successfully.
And you're a coach back home yourself, so what would you be telling your defenders to do to combat that screen that they're doing so well?
Yeah, look, I think something we're seeing at the moment from this ADF unit is just a hard man-on-man style defense. So perhaps changing things up, maybe throwing in a split circle there.
Yep.
Just so that they've got less capacity to set up those screens. But while we're talking here tomorrow, I think we might have an injury.
No, I don't want to say I have favourites, but that's a bit of a shame to see Ed Mead leaving the court with an injury. And we will try and get eyes on the back of this Goal Attacks shirt so we can let you all know who has now entered the game. Looks to make that margin 1 less, and he does. Now, Dusty's quite an experienced player for the ADF in Goal Attack. He has grown up playing netball, I understand, and it's really exciting to see the growth of men's netball, meaning that there are now pathways for junior male netballers to come into the game. It's certainly something that we're very excited to see. Renee, have you been able to catch much of the underage youth games this week?
Absolutely, Tam. I think the calibre of our underage divisions is only getting stronger and stronger every year. And I think what's more exciting for me is seeing the average age of our open men's division slowly coming down as well, which is what we're seeing as a lot of these younger athletes exiting their underage division early and heading into our open men's environment. So a really great thing for men's netball. It's keeping the game nice and fast, very intense and very fit, which are 3 things that we love to see.
That's it. And just a turnover there with SA going 1 more to 23. Untouched there for the centre pass. So those that don't know, you do need to touch the ball in the centre third in netball. SA transitioning quickly down court, back to Jerry. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like our wonderful new Goal Attack has a name on the back of his shirt. So we will try and find that out for you, but maybe we'll come up with a nickname for him.
Usually means one of 2 things at AMMNA. Either he's an elevation player, which means a very exciting opportunity for a young netballer, or he's probably just forgotten to do his laundry last night.
And with 2 games a day, not surprising. Wanted a call there. ADF picking up the scraps. Transitioning down to Dusty, to Smith. Looks to give and go.
I'm really enjoying this work of the wing attack. Very unassuming player, not what I expected. but creating some really great space and some beautiful drives in the attacking end.
And sporting the classic ADF moustache, as a few are. Wonder if that's a uniform requirement for them. Yeah, Bradley Smith certainly has a very classic netball style game. We love the work out the front in a wing attack, doing the give and go to getting to circle edge. And first goal of the game there for our new little goal attack. If it is an elevation, congratulations, or welcome to men's netball. Is that another substitution down the defence end that I've maybe missed?
Yes, we see more entering the court for the goalkeeper bib for SA.
We want more. And just misses that one, but an immediate impact on court, I'd say, following in the shoes of Ed Mead, doing the work out the front in goal attack. As the ball transitions back down court in the hands of Smith. Resets, give and go. Long ball, and Dusty picking that up. And another one for ADF, slowly bringing that margin back in. We have another substitution, as we can see ADF continuing to roll those subs with fresh legs, and Josh Drennan hits the court. Now, a lot of these ADF players are selected from their ADF Nationals, which is held at the end of the previous year. So they compete in their states. We've actually popped up to one not that long ago and got to see what it was all about. It was quite a fun tournament, lots of good camaraderie and sports and skill, and at the end it results in them picking their Australian ADF teams that come and compete at nationals. So for those watching before, we had another SA ADF lineup, and you would have heard Renee's voice on that game as well. How was that mixed game, Renee?
It was fabulous. I think the scoreline probably didn't reflect the intensity of the game. I think ADF was certainly able to transition ball down court, just a little bit of trouble finishing, but overall a really fantastic game.
And who were your standout players in that game?
Oh, if you listened along, you would have heard me talk about Austin for probably 49 of the 60 minutes. She was exceptional, played across the goal attack and wing attack positions, and was really the linchpin in that side.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a very exciting athlete and someone to watch over the final series.
Yeah, wonderful. Throw in here with SA. Ball back in the hands of Jerry, resets to McInnes. Now, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but Majaras in wing attack. He's been quite good for SA as well. Apologies if I am mispronouncing your name wrong there, but has been another impressive link in that SA attacking end. Renee, what do you think this SA midcourt are doing so well that's just getting the ball down there and helping their shooters?
Absolutely. I think they're running really long lines, so they're getting some depth in court. They're going down deep, coming back up high, confusing the defenders and creating space for each other. But I think what's been particularly impressive is the way that Jerry and Majoras work together. It's a very obvious unit. So it's been great to see that that's producing great results in the shooting end.
Yeah, it's a good partnership out there, and certainly important for our little midi mates out there to have a good connection. We can see Michael Catley has entered the game. Oh, ball goes long, and it will be ADF's ball. Now, Michael Catley, who's just given us the nod, is in GA and quite an experienced player for the ADF. He's had a few games out with a bit of a cork injury. Oh, and beautiful tip there. Can't collect the scraps from Majaras.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
We'll use all the different pronunciations
we'll
and hope we
change
nail
it
it
each
once.
time, so at least once is correct. But certainly put on the speed there to go for that intercept. ADF transitioning the ball, and we'll go back to talk about Mikey. Catley has been in the ADF side across mixed and men's teams for a few years, recently moving down to Canberra and playing in our local state league competition there, as a number of these ADF players do.
I think if we expect to see some theatrics from Brian Reid, there's plenty more to come in Michael Catley.
We're here for it. McInnes. Oh, a kick from the ADF centre. You can't do that. He is a soccer player by trade. So just forgot what sport he was playing for a minute there, Devitt.
If you were his coach tomorrow, what feedback would you be giving to the centre right now?
Look, I think firstly, knowing whose centre pass it is would be a good start, and I am allowed to roast him. But no, I'm very impressed with the way he has taken on the mid-court role in his stride, working hard through the middle. And another shot there. Let's see what he does with the ball in hand now. Linking well with Catley. Smith finds circle edge. Oh, a little bit of congestion down there as they work through this new lineup. They will settle in shortly. Ball back with SA. McInnes to Jerry. Looks long, and it is picked up by Reedy. All right, as we go into half-time, the confusion in my voice right now is that the score bench is probably not reflecting accurately what the time was as I looked at it. So now we go into a break. Renee, whilst the scoreline is a little bit long, what are you seeing well from both teams?
Yeah, look, I'm really enjoying that the ADF is staying in this game despite the scoreline. It can be a difficult thing to do in Game 5 of a tournament like this. But SA is responding by just staying clinical in everything that they're executing. So really great to see. What I would hope over the next 30 minutes of netball is that we can see the ADF apply a little bit more defensive pressure. And I think we'll start to see Brian Reid come to life in the back end.
A little bit more acrobatics from him to come. We'll go to an ad now and we'll be back soon.
So when I was growing up, obviously loved footy. All my brothers played footy. I've got 5 brothers. They all played sport growing up, and we had a little club called Kelmscott Junior Football Club. Played down there all through my juniors. I got my sense of belonging, I guess, and made my friendships. I just love those memories of playing there. Got me where I am today, so it's it's good to look back on that. Yeah, obviously the Fair Play Vouchers is a great initiative. It allows any kids to play sport, gives the opportunity for them to go down to their local club, get that sense of belonging. Obviously there's a lot of kids in different circumstances out there in the community, so this gives the opportunity for any kid to go out and play, which is fantastic.
for the rest of our lives. Without you, there is no tomorrow.
Welcome back to not so sunny Queensland. We've got a little bit of rain here today, but it has been beautiful weather all week for the Australian Men's and Mixed Netball Championships. We are here in the commentary, Renee and myself, Tamara, with the ADF and SA Men's Reserve Division game. It is half-time and the scores are 10-28 for SA. One more plug for Steve McInnes playing his 150th game today as the players step out on court. What are you expecting from this next half of netball, Renee?
Look, I'm expecting it to be exciting. Big thanks to Reedy for coming and addressing the commentary box. No, it's going to be a fabulous 30 minutes of netball. I expect more theatrics, a lot more body thrown at ball. Hopefully, the ADF can help produce us some exciting netball.
SA with the ball in hand to start, and McInnes has moved to the attack end, going from wing to wing. He is now in wing attack, and looking forward to seeing what he does down that end of the court. Swing ball reposition. Shoots over the jump of both defenders to put another score on the board for their team. Transition ball in the hands of Smith. Working to circle edge. Connecting in with Catley, who thinks the keeper is on his team. And the ball transitions down court to SA. He won't be happy with that one, Catley. High standards of himself out there, and he'll be looking for his team to turn over in defence, as they attempt to do, but SA too strong in shooting. And that's another one down for SA. Their team bench getting behind every single goal. Renee, that's certainly been my experience at Men's and Mixed Nationals, is it's a great space to just get behind your teammates and your squad.
A lot of camaraderie, Tam. I think with the time and energy that goes into the preparations for a tournament like this, you make best friends for life. It's one of the best things about men's and mixed netball.
That's it. The friendships that are made cross stakes too, really beautiful to see all the different players interacting across teams as well. ADF with the centre pass. Mid-court's doing good work out front, getting to, and a beautiful feed on that baseline drive. Michael from range, and he slots it. Welcome to the game, Michael Catley. Smiles there. McInnes in wing attack. Shooter, and runs into the brick wall, Reedy.
Not the goalkeeper I would want to run into at full pace.
Back to playing soccer out here. Just another loose ball off the foot. SA transitioning quickly into defence. Loose ball, and they pick up the scraps. I wish I knew this goal attack's name, because he's doing a wonderful job out there. From range, sinks it.
Viewers, if you are watching from home and you can throw a comment on the live stream, let us know who this lovely goal attack is.
Yes, please do. And if you have any other questions for us, we would be delighted to answer. I'll check those comments now. As Renee said, if you know who this fantastic goal attack is, let us know. At range from Catley. Doesn't quite drop, but does get a hand to the rebound. Finds Smith. Both presenting. Oh, a little pop around pass. Catley with the throw in. Back to Smith. Catley holding strong in front. Repositions. Oh, and good defence there from the SA goal defence in Alex Bevan. He's been solid down there today, Renee.
Very consistent.
Probably have missed the opportunity to talk about just how good this SA defence end has been, because we have been focusing on the beautiful work out front from their mid-court into their shooters, but the work rate of our 3 defenders down the SA end has been fantastic. What have you seen that you've liked from them?
I think they're quite intense in what they're doing. There's a lot of really solid man-on-man defence happening there, not giving the attackers any space. So you'll see Bevan stay all but about half a metre from his player at any given time. Definitely an indication of his fitness.
That's it. And the work of Searle out in wing defence. He's had good hands over pressure. Just doing the work on Smith. Speedy little thing he is. Ball in the hand of Clark. Finds Catley. Swings cross court. Big reset ball to Josh Weeding. Very tall for a wing defence, Weeding is, Renee.
We do love to see a tall wing defence. Definitely played with a lot here at AMMNA. Not the traditional shorter, speedy player, but some of the talls running out the front.
And you know a bit about that wing dinger role yourself. A versatile player through all 3 mid-court positions.
I certainly try, Tamara. I definitely didn't have a lot of height in my playing years, so relied very, very heavily on my foot speed and work done far out the front through the mid-court.
That's it. And change for ADF. We have a new wing attack on. Ball in the hand of SA. Spilled by Reedy, who gets another tip to it. Reedy, I'll remind you, 2 hands. Pull those in. And I hope you're listening to this later. McInnes. Ball in hands, looks to his shooters.
Really enjoyed the work of Heritage. Came into that centre position to give Cherry a well-deserved break, and I think SA hasn't really lost anything in their rotations.
That's it. He's transitioned into the centre role beautifully. A lot of versatility in this SA lineup here today. And another shot for ADF. With the ball back in hand, and Devitt through the middle in centre. Weeding takes the penalty pass. Looks long, and it is picked up by SA. Read that very well down there. Beautiful transition. Oh, just maybe a little bit slippery for the ball there. As he wipes his hands on his pants. Contact call. Weeding finds Devitt. Shooters hanging out there at the top of the circle.
With the feeders. We'll see them find a little bit more space here.
And just a misconnection there as they have a bit of a chat on court. It's so important to provide that real-time feedback in tournaments like this. Long days, long games, so being able to just have a chat to your teammate quickly and just make some adjustments on court, very important. The umpire resets the penalty in the hands of Heritage. Our favourite goal attack.
Some lovely speed coming from our favourite player.
Lines up. Oh, and a rebound there from Reedy. Quick transition to Clark. And the ball is back with SA. Just a contact call there as Weeding came through. And a footwork call there, just a slightly misplaced pass. Straight into defence though for this SA side. McInnes on the hunt. Umpire looks to reset the penalty there. Devitt finds circle edge. Catley wants the ball in his hands, looks to swing, opens up. Oh, and a shooter-to-shooter connection. Oh! And he
Fabulous shot.
sinks it. Doesn't quite come off. Umpire deems a foot out of court, but very impressive nonetheless from James Murphy. Clark just taken out our little fave.
I do enjoy that for a much shorter defender, Clark certainly plays with his heart, throws his body on the line.
He absolutely does. Goes for a hunt off his player and will pay off. That's 4 now for Reedy hitting the deck.
Unfortunate he didn't completely fall tomorrow. We could have seen some acrobatics on the way back up, but we'll also accept him just standing.
Having a chat with the umpire just to clarify, and it's been good to see the umpires indulging the players with some quick real-time feedback out on court.
Definitely been a great change.
Yeah, all in the spirit of the game and all with the interest of developing and getting better. Looks to open up and he kicks it in and out. Clark just a little slow to get his feet around on that one. Gets the contact call. Now, I think smart decision with Humphreys getting into rebounding position rather than taking the penalty shot, and it drops for them. Scores are now 36-13. Smith with the ball. Finds Murphy. Obstruction call at the top of the circle. Fakes it. Finds Catley. Oh, and just goes between the legs for a loose ball. Transition quickly down court with SA. In the hands of Bevan. Finds McInnes on circle edge. High ball. Tipped but picked up by Heritage. Oh, nice tap on the shoulder there from McInnes. Lines up. And sinks it. Back with SA. I think the umpire on the far side of the court is looking to maybe swap the ball at the next break. It is warm in here today. And they hold time to do just that. New game ball in. A few players on the sideline getting ready to enter the court. Clark with the ball. And another cross-court ball there, just giving the defenders time to get a hand to it. McInnes picks up the scraps, quick transition, give and go, enters the circle. Little kick out and into reposition, and shot misses, but the contact call is made to give them another opportunity.
McInnes' leadership really evident in some of these transitions.
Absolutely. He knows what he's doing. SA's ball with 2:45 left in this quarter. Both shooters out. McInnes resets to give them time to enter back into the circle. As you said, beautiful leadership and experience out there, which is really good to have that balance of experience and new players coming into a team at a tournament like this. Sinks another shot. And Chris Laurie back into the centre position for the ADF. Long ball. Beautiful rebound there from Murphy. McInnes gives and goes. Finds Heritage on the circle in the pocket. Swing ball, and that's just been the consistent, beautiful movement we have come to love from this SA team. Josh Drennan into goal defence. He's another quite experienced player for the ADF as they just missed through a centre pass. 2-on-1 in the circle. Just has a look at where the defender is lining up and sinks that shot. A little bit of a falcon as the ball heads back to take the centre pass. Now we've got a little bit of inside information from none other than Cam Bennett himself, our injured buddy from SA, who's let us know that Brock is the goal attack. I assume that's a first name, Stokes. We are absolutely stoked to have Stokes' name finally, so thank you, Cam. He's an import from Queensland, so this is his home state due to injury. So great to utilise the local talent. We've had to do so ourselves in the ACT in our open mix team, bringing in none other than Austin Mills, another Queensland import, as we have Humphreys just go down, helped up by ADF and get straight back into it. Stokes lining up. Rebound from Humphreys. And that brings us to the end of the third quarter. Scores are 43-15. An exciting game of netball here, Renee. What are you looking forward to going into the final term?
Absolutely. I think I'm stoked as well to find out. We know who Stokes is. And I think as with any team that's brought in an import player at the last minute, it's really impressive to see the connections that he's built with the SA attacking unit in only the first couple of days. So I'm looking forward to seeing that continue to unfold. I'd really love to see SA using their centre channel a little bit more. I think a lot of their feeding's happening from the pockets, but I'm sure we're about to see that all unfold in the fourth quarter.
We'll head to an ad.
Let me show you how to get it like me, get it like me, cause the best is what I really might be. Let me show you how to get it. You wanna be like this, you wanna be like this.
Welcome back to the final quarter of ADF vs SA. A few little lulls on court over here. SA with the ball.
What the viewers wouldn't have just seen before the live stream kicked back in was our good friend Michael Cutley in goal shooter. Took a beautiful ball off the centre pass in the centre third and out of embarrassment has now walked back into the goal third.
Yes, you do need to stay in your third, and you are restricted to one of them, Mikey. But another chance here to redeem yourself as the ball is coming back the ADF way. Ball's in the hand of Drennan. Clark now through the middle. Oh, great tip from Drennan, but picked back up by Searle. Stokes with ball, finds Bevan. Jerry in wing attack. I think this will be an excellent display of his athleticism and speed utilised in wing attack. Stokes sinks it. And it is SA's ball. Heritage getting us off. Long ball from Jerry. And I think already SA using more of the middle channel as requested, Renee.
Might be listening in tomorrow.
Tries to save the ball and it just doesn't pay off for SA, so it is back in the hands of Drennan to Clark through the middle. Looks long from Regan.
A confident take in just one hand. Very impressive.
And Dusty picking up the scraps there in goal attack. They will get another attempt at goal. Strong pressure from this SA defensive unit, but ADF slots that one in. Applause from their bench. Coached by the wonderful Kim Keeley, who is a very experienced netball coach. Clark putting on the speed there to find circle edge.
Couple of cheeky bounces and a nice feed into Michael Catley.
Just rolls out there. Transition down court, finds Jerry. Beautiful connection drive there from the wing attack. Oh, and picking up the cross-court ball there. Weeding, well done. Regan Parks with the ball. Umpire looks to reset it with Searle now out of play. Smith to Catley. He lines up, looks long, goes for his rebound. Fakes, finds Dusty. Clever little throw in there. Dusty just not settled on that shot. And they transition straight back into defense. Bevan lining up, wanting the back ball, but finding Searle. Crosses over, finds Heritage. Bevan through the middle. Jerry elevating to take a high ball. Give and go. Resets to circle edge. And Stokes lines up. Oh, it doesn't drop on this occasion. Picked up by Drennan, who drives down court. Umpires just setting play. I've found the umpires to have a very good control of this game today, consistent and clear with their communication, which is what we want to see.
I'd love to hear tomorrow. Tell me a bit about some of the new netball rules that have come out and how you feel they've been applied here at Nationals by both the umpires and the athletes.
Great question, Renee, and we could talk rules all day here. Personally, I think they've made some really good changes out there, particularly at throw-ins, not having to wait for a player to be on court, so potentially an opposition player who might just be dawdling to get back on court. You're now able to just get on with play, which I think is really fantastic in the men's and mixed game, which is typically quite a speedy game. Certainly helps to just allow play to continue on. Any rules that you found really useful in the men's and mixed space?
I'd definitely love to see the way in which we've changed our caution warning suspension process. Interestingly, the games have been quite clean. I was expecting coming into this competition that the dangerous play might be pulled out on a number of occasions, particularly with the size and athleticism of our athletes, but have been pleasantly surprised to see some discipline from all of the states. So that's been fabulous. And so far, I'm sure there may have been some suspensions, but I haven't seen any, which is great.
Yeah, you're not wrong. We are here for some good, clean netball, but there are some incredibly impressive displays of athleticism out there, which can sometimes just result in a few knocks and tumbles. Clark will get the next centre pass underway. Oh, Regan just trying to keep that one in. Finds Searle, looks long to Heritage. Searle again. And a pick up by Clark as he zooms down court. Smith gives and goes.
Clark demanding intensity from his team and producing himself.
Opens up. And shot to rebound. Contact call. And hoping for the finish. One more try. Beautiful, sinks it there. Substitution with Clark zooming off court now. And we have Laurie back into the centre position. Stoked for Stokes, he lines up and sinks it. Looks like that was a break. I'm going to assume from that positioning.
I think we've seen a little bit of a drop in intensity from both teams here. Will be good to see what they can produce over the final 7 minutes. Particularly for this SA unit heading into finals, I think it's really important to produce 60 minutes of high intensity netball. So I'm sure if I were their coach right now, I would be asking them to finish strong.
That's it, and it is a big week, but it is important to keep that intensity, and that's why we've got the bench of 12 players for the week. And Jerry just walking off the court to reset that penalty. A few more changes here for ADF. We have Devitt back into wing attack. And I believe Miller into goal attack. Finishing that shot there.
A lot of noise coming from the ADF bench.
Cross-court ball doesn't come off. Here in the Dreamboat, Devitt just needs to pull that one in with two hands.
I don't think I'll be referring to him as that tomorrow.
Oh, good speed there from the ADF on transition. Just having a hunt, as we can see they've gone to a zone-style defense. So for those back home that may not be familiar with that style of defense, we have your typical, a little bit of confusion on where that penalty is, but as we can see that rule come into play, ADF had a player off court, and previously that would have been a turnover ball. Contact from SA. And Brian Reid re-enters the game in goal defense, bringing some immediate noise as they finish with the shot. But back to our defense discussion. We have our traditional one-on-one defense here in netball. Renee, just talk us through what the purpose of a zone defense would be.
Absolutely. So correct me if I'm wrong, but the name zone actually came from basketball?
It did, yes.
I mean, netball came from women's basketball back in its most traditional form.
Yep.
But a zone defense is a process of defending space instead of defending a player, with the idea of hoping the ball will go up in the air and someone will be able to produce some turnover in the backspace.
Works well for ADF, looking to hunt on that zone, and then just with their bigger bodies taking up a lot of space on court, quite intimidating to come at a zone as an attacking unit. Devitt drives strong on that ball, drawing the contact. Searle just clarifying. Again, great to see that interaction with the umpires for real-time correction on court. Murphy with the shot, opts to go long. Oh, and a dive to try and get that rebound. Great sportsmanship, just helping each other back up on court. And SAR off.
Bevan continuing to be very consistent and intense in his defensive efforts.
And then beautiful on transition. I think that's certainly been a strength of this SA lineup with their wing defense and goal. Here they come. Yep. Goal defense.
He's getting a little bit sloppy in this final minutes of the game.
And here we can see again their defensive unit doing a wonderful job just transitioning that ball all the way to the transverse line, allowing centre wing attack and goal attack to get a little bit deeper for SA as they line up for another beautiful shot. Shooting change here. We have Dusty the man back on court in goal shooter. Certainly a strength for them in that more posting, holding shooter role. And another stat on the board for Stokes. I think for this defensive unit in ADF, what I'd like to see is just utilising a little bit more footwork to get around this strong shooting combination to have a crack at the ball. They have the speed, they're anticipating well, but just sometimes stuck on that back positioning. So perhaps just getting their feet around, as we can see Weeding doing now, just getting a good front position, but they opt to go over. And just a little bit more discipline from Reedy on the obstruction call there. Would prefer him to get set. Good hands up to defend the shot. But we know he loves to come in for a flying defensive action there.
He does, and when they pay off, they look great.
Game ball coming our way again. Umpire setting the throw in. Searle to Bevan, and again all the way up at that transverse line. It is making such a difference for this SA team. Minute and a half left. Looking around the grounds, there's a lot of wonderful netball going on here today. We have the beautiful show court here at Nissan Arena, which is also being live streamed. ADF will be looking to finish this as Devitt goes in the air. Wanted the call, but still in the hands of ADF as Reedy decides that's not my ball to take, giving it to Weeding. Parks looks long, and keeper picking up that pass there. Bevan with the ball, and again, beautiful transition from SA. 45 seconds left on the clock. Renee, a great game of netball here today. The scoreline probably not reflecting accurately how enjoyable the game has been. What have you enjoyed out there?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the camaraderie is something I'll always come back to after this game. It's good to see the players having a really good time, supporting each other. SA picking ADF up off the floor literally at many moments of this game. So yeah, that's been fabulous. But the attacking end of the SA unit has been particularly impressive, supported by the defensive end, creating lots and lots of turnover opportunity for them. So they should walk away from this game really proud, as should ADF, for the way that they've stuck in this from an intensity perspective.
That's it, and 3 seconds left on the clock. I think they'll let that go. Reedy in goal your defense, the ADF captain cheering regardless of the score. I understand his perspective is that the last goal wins. That is his view on the game, and all players just getting around each other here. Renee, best on court for you today from SA, please.
Oh, look, difficult to go past Steve McInnes. The man, the legend, he's got the experience, he's got the leadership. He led his team exceptionally today. So MVP, Mr. McInnes, on his 150th game.
And a great choice. It's, you know, very remiss if we didn't acknowledge how exceptional he is for not just SA, but men's netball in general. Well done, Steve. And for the ADF?
Oh, so many options. I'm going to have to go with Reedy. I think he provided the athleticism, the intercepts and the theatrics today. Also cheered on his team at the end despite quite a significant loss. So I've got a lot of time for a very vocal leader. So 3 votes Reedy.
That's it. It's what we love to see, and it's what we're here for here at the Australian Men's and Mixed Netball Championships. Lots of wonderful games coming up throughout the day, so tune in on Facebook. Remember, games are streamed for free. There are scam pages out there. Do not enter your credit card details at all. It is all free in wonderful Brisbane for you here today. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you back shortly.